I'm very glad you have a podcast, first of all, 'cause I think a lot more people like you need podcasts, meaning financial experts who own their own business and kind of
Sure.
need to educate people of either the working class or even people above the working class who just don't know a lot about economics. It's hard to follow. We were talking before this podcast even started, the news and everything, it's so overwhelming. And CNBC can kind of ignore a certain type of people. So first off, thank you for doing a
Yeah.
podcast and actually serving people. So with that being said, please introduce who you are, what it is you do, and like who you serve.
Yeah, my name is Gabrielle Rene. Obviously, I'm sure you can detect an accent. I was born outside of the country in a small island called Haiti. Not so small, but it is small to me. And I came here when I was a teenager to study and also went to college, got my degrees, my undergraduate degrees in business and finance. And then eventually I got my MBA and my master's in taxation. So I went into this industry because I wanted to learn enough about it so that I could share and also educate my community. And those, like you said, it doesn't matter what your background is. If you did not study finance or taxation, you will be at a loss. So people like me who have done the work are able to I'm able to, explain things in a way that you can understand. Because I think it's very important to explain information and convey knowledge in a way that everybody can understand. That's why on my podcast, Let's Talk Money with Friends, we say money encompasses everything. So every single week, I tackle different topics that are really relevant and timely and topics that everybody can relate to. It doesn't matter if you're a high schooler or someone with a PhD. Unless you have your PhD in economics, or even if you have your PhD in economics, you will get something because we tell stories, narratives. Narratives are important. We tell stories, and everybody is able to relate to those stories. So, yeah, I would encourage everyone to tune in and really participate and let us know what you think about this podcast that we do. To me, it's very important. As I say, very timely because the conversation we need to have. Because many times you have folks who think that, oh, if I'm not going a certain way, if I'm not achieving certain goals, it's because my fault, internalizing the shame. And we tell you on my show, you don't need to be ashamed. You just need to be informed and be empowered. So, yeah, that's why I do what I do, to empower and to encourage others to really find collective power. Because empowerment is one thing to be empowered by yourself. But when you have collective power, meaning like you're not doing it alone. That's why the podcast is very important because when you hear others, because I have guests, Will, that comes on the show, just like I'm a guest with you, and they have their stories, they tell their stories, they really share in depth about their experiences. So others who are watching are able to say, oh, I've been through that too. And I thought that about myself. Oh, I didn't have to. Oh, next time I know how to deal. I know how to work it out. I know how to find resources
Yeah.
next time around. So yeah, empowerment is very important to me.
And it's hard to talk about money. Like it's genuinely difficult. Like even for people who are better off or more privileged, like young couples, very much struggle talking about money. And when they get married, they kind of get their finances together, and it's just like, oh, you didn't
Yeah,
tell me you had $80,000 of student debt. Like, why didn't you tell me you had $80,000 of student debt? Well, because it's embarrassing. And I like
yeah,
that you said the word. Don't be ashamed. You
yeah,
cannot you cannot be ashamed of your financial situation because being ashamed isn't going to help you. What's going to help you though is being honest. But that with
correct.
that being said, like with being so hard to be honest about money, how do you get guests to open up and be honest about their financial well-being? Because I could do it, but I don't know if I'd like to do
Well,
it.
I'm very convincing, I guess, but also to make it very easy. It's just having a conversation. If you find a friendly person, I think once you find, because I remember personally, I was going through a financial crisis and I needed support, and I was ashamed. I was ashamed because I didn't want those around me to know what I was going through. But you know what? A stranger, a total stranger who sat next to me at a conference, opened up to me and she started sharing her own story. And I was like, oh, if she's sharing, I can share. It was very safe. The space was very safe because I really didn't know her. So I didn't think she was going to pass any judgment on me. But also, I feel like, oh, many times the shame stems from the fact that We don't want people around us to really know what's going on with us. So if you're able to open up to a stranger, it's better than nothing. So if definitely you should have a safe space, you should have friends and family members that you can trust to open up and let them know. Because at the end of the day, like you said, the shame is gonna kill you. I know people personally, folks that I've worked with in the past, folks in my community, folks that I've known over the years who have done the worst. And by that, I mean like in their lives because of the fact that they were going through a financial crisis and they were too ashamed to open up, to just open up and talk to someone. You never know who has the answer. You never know who has the solution. For me, that woman led me to a place, and that place was able to empower me and help me get out of a situation that had brought me a lot of shame. So my encouragement, that's why I do this show, seriously, because I want folks to be comfortable talking about the hard things, the difficult part of money, of finance, personal finance, so that they can be liberated. Because truth shall set you free, but you gotta know the truth. And the way you know the truth is by letting people know what's going on so that they can share truth about what's going on with you, how you can go about finding solutions, and all the resources that are available. Many times we are in our homes or, hiding with shame, and we don't know that there are plenty of resources available to help you get out of your shame. So the conversations that I do on Wednesdays on Let's Talk Money with Friends, we share resources, we share narratives, and we just share love. To me, that's what we're sharing. We're sharing a lot of great information to help empower our community and our viewers and listeners.